Rhaenyra Targaryen executes Otto Hightower, the man who built the political machine that stole her throne, with 2 blows of a sword. Then she walks into the throne room, steps over the bodies of those who tried to stop her, and sits on the Iron Throne. She finally has everything she has been fighting for. Her father's promise, her birthright, 3 seasons of betrayal, grief and war. And here she is. So why does it feel like the show is telling us she has already lost? That is the question episode 2 of season 3 is really asking. And before we get to the answer, we need to go back to where episode 1 left us, because what happened at the Battle of the Gullet set up everything that followed tonight. If you missed our full episode 1 breakdown, link is above. Here is what you need to know going into tonight. The battle was fought in the air by Jace on Vermax and Baelor on Moondancer, the 2 dragon riders who held the line while the Valyrian fleet engaged the Triarchy below. Rhaena arrived mid-battle on the still untamed Sheepstealer, not by plan but by impulse. And the wild dragon's attack on friendly dragons is what ultimately distracted Vermax long enough for the Triarchy's harpoon weapons to drag him under. On the water, it was Alyn of Hull who killed the Triarchy commander, Sharako Lohar, in direct combat, ending the battle. The Dragon Seeds, Hugh Hammer, Ulf White, and Adam did not fight at the Gullet. They arrived only in episode 2 to clean up what remained. Episode 2 opens exactly where episode 1 ended, in the wreckage. The 3 Dragon Seeds, Hugh Hammer, Ulf White, and Adam of Hull, finally arrived too late to save Jace, but in time to finish what the Valyrian fleet started, burning the last of the Triarchy ships from the sky. Adam of Hull searches the wreckage for Corlys Velaryon, the sea snake, who went into the water during the battle. He finds him, alive, barely, and Corlys, surveying the burning ocean around him, his fleet decimated, his grandson's betrothed dead, the bay won at catastrophic cost, delivers the line of the episode before it has barely started. "If this be victory," he says, "I pray I never win another." That line is the thesis of the entire episode, and the show knows it. While Team Black processes the human cost of their victory, the green side is quietly falling apart. Aemond has fled King's Landing on Vhagar, not retreating, repositioning. He arrives at Harrenhal, where House Strong holds the castle. Simon Strong and his son do not resist. They surrender immediately. Aemond kills them anyway, because Aemond does not take castles. He absorbs them. Harrenhal, the largest castle in Westeros, cursed since Aegon the Conqueror's dragon melted it into glass, now belongs to Aemond. Meanwhile, King Aegon II, the king the Greens crowned, the king the entire war has been fought to place and keep on the throne, has run. He has fled King's Landing entirely, taking Larys Strong with him. The two disagree immediately on where to go. Larys wants Dragonstone. Aegon insists on Rook's Rest to find Criston Cole. The Green faction has no king, no hand, and its most dangerous piece, Aemond and Vhagar, is operating completely independently 100 miles away. Inside the Red Keep, the most important political move of the episode happens quietly. Alicent Hightower, left behind while her son fled and her other son took a cursed castle, makes a decision. She reaches out to Rhaenyra, not to surrender, not to beg, to negotiate. The deal she offers is surgical. She will ensure Rhaenyra's entry into King's Landing. She will stand the Gold Cloaks down. She will order the guards to let them pass, in exchange for one thing: Helaena, her daughter, the one member of the Green family Alicent cares about above politics. She wants Helaena allowed to leave the city quietly and safely. Rhaenyra agrees. Alicent Hightower, the woman who spent 3 seasons building the Green cause, who crowned her son in the hours after her husband died, who held a fractured coalition together through sheer force of will, opens the gates for the enemy to save her daughter. Here is where I want to pause, because this is the question episode 2 is really asking about Alicent. Was she right to do it? She betrayed everything the Greens fought for. She opened King's Landing to the enemy. She effectively ended the Green resistance in the capital in a single conversation. But she saved her daughter, and she did it knowing full well what it would cost. So, was Alicent Hightower's betrayal an act of political cowardice? or the first genuinely human thing she has done in 3 seasons? Drop your answer in the comments, because I genuinely think this is the most interesting debate the show has given us this season, and it connects directly to everything that happens when Rhaenyra walks through those gates. Rhaenyra's advisors tell her not to go. Mysaria tells her it could be a trap. Everyone around her sees the risk. Rhaenyra goes anyway. She and Daemon arrive at King's Landing, flanked by Hugh Hammer and Ulf White on Dragonback. 4 dragons over the capital in a show of force designed to make resistance feel impossible. They walk through the Red Keep, Daemon cutting down the guards who try to stop them. They reach the throne room. They are surrounded by Kingsguard and City Watch, outnumbered, seemingly caught. And then the Gold Cloaks, the City Watch that Daemon himself built 20 years ago, side with them. Just as Alicent promised. The path is clear. Aegon is gone. The throne is empty. Rhaenyra Targaryen walks to the Iron Throne. Aegon is gone. But Daemon finds something almost as useful. Otto Hightower, the architect of the entire coup, the man who placed his daughter next to the king, who built the Green Alliance from nothing, who crowned Aegon in the hours after Viserys died, is still in the Red Keep. Daemon brings him to Rhaenyra. She hesitates. The histories don't record what she was thinking in that moment. Whether she was thinking of her father, who trusted Otto, whether she was thinking of Alicent, Otto's daughter, who just saved her life, whether she simply recognized that a man who built one coup can build another, and mercy here is just delayed catastrophe. She executes him. 2 blows. Otto Hightower, the most consequential political operator in the Dance of the Dragons, ends not in battle, not in negotiation, but kneeling on a stone floor in a castle he spent his life trying to hold for someone else's son. And then Rhaenyra Targaryen sits the Iron Throne. The throne her father promised her. The throne she has been fighting for through 3 seasons of war, grief, betrayal, and loss. She sits it with Daemon beside her, with Hugh Hammer and Ulf White and Adam of Hull, her new dragon riders, behind her, with King's Landing under her control and the Green factions scattered and leaderless. On paper, she has won. But the show is careful about how it frames this moment. There is no celebration, no crowds cheering. The throne room is half empty and mostly dead. Aegon is alive and at large. Aemond is alive with Vhagar at Harrenhal. Criston Cole's army is still in the field. The throne is hers. And as Corlys said at the start of this episode, if this be victory, I pray I never win another. So, back to the question we opened with. She finally has the throne. Why does it feel like losing? Because Rhaenyra has the Iron Throne and almost nothing else. Her eldest son is dead. Her fleet is damaged. Her new dragon riders are untested. Aemond is fortifying Harrenhal with Vhagar, the largest dragon alive. Aegon is loose with Larys Strong, the most dangerous intelligence operator in Westeros. Criston Cole's army is intact in the field. Alicent's betrayal of the Greens will come out, and the deal that got Rhaenyra into King's Landing, Helaena walks free, will have political consequences nobody has calculated yet. Rhaenyra won the city. She hasn't won the war. Episode 3 drops next Sunday, and based on what we know from the books, what comes next at Rook's Rest may be the moment this season truly explodes. We will break it down the moment it airs. Subscribe to Powerlines Network so you don't miss it. And drop in the comments, was Alicent right to open those gates? Because that decision is going to echo for the rest of the season.